Don't answer, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer. Don't answer, Keith! Keith, don't answer the question! Don't do it! Hi, everyone. I'm Soraya Rhea, and thanks for tuning in for my review of Married at First Sight Season 9, Episode 8. I'm never going to get it right. It's like, because I don't know, it's like I don't write it down. Sometimes I do, and then I don't. Anyway, whatever. I'll put a note in if I get it wrong. What's up, guys? All right. There's lots to talk about, right? Okay. So, first impressions, first thoughts. Let's get to it. Do you guys realize that Elizabeth dogs love Jamie? Like, they're all on top of him. And here's the thing. Jamie being a cat person and having said that, like, dogs bring a kind of, messiness and dirtiness into a home. He's so welcoming of them, and like they're always on him in the midst of him and Elizabeth's fights. Like the dogs are just like, we love daddy, like I feel like the experts did Iris dirty with their game. The experts / producers. I'll get into it. I feel like, yeah, with the questions that they had, no, I understand what you were trying to do, but nope. If you are, to me, yes, you can expect a certain amount of conflict with these games, especially because you're trying to almost use them as a scaffold to help the person grow and develop. Yes, but it has to be balanced with what is appropriate and what they are ready for at the moment. And unless she had somebody speaking to her specifically about some of the things that she needs to work on or some of the things she needs to be aware of, I felt like they were throwing her into the lion's den. And I don't think that was right. Both her and Keith. And then it caused more conflict. And Matt, at the end of the episode, Matt called him leaving his wife for an entire day without communicating with her. He called it their little rough patch. Quote. So, no, that's a no. Very, very sorry for Keith's grandmother passing. I was kind of shocked because I was like, wait, but like, the wedding was literally like 2-3 weeks ago, and she was in a sense up and about, obviously still in her right mind. Praise God. Just amen, because not everybody has that experience in life. But just really sad to have seen her, I guess, with a decline that quickly. But like he said, he was just so happy that she was able to see him get married and stuff. Anyway, but that's a real life thing. So like, I want to be very extremely delicate with that. So with that, I feel you, Keith, and I'm happy that you were able to experience that with her. So again, the rumors are really flying around. I think, is Deanna pregnant, because she has not appeared on any of the unfiltered episodes. And then also Jamie Otis posted a picture of all of this season's women with her yesterday, I believe, and her, Deanna, and Iris are kind of standing behind a TV that says Married at First Sight. And it's like, yeah. I will still be hella shocked if it is really true, but it's like, that is so obvious. Like, yeah, you could think like, oh, we just have like the TV screen right here that says Married at First Sight. Like, we didn't know what show you guys were on, but like, it just so happens that Deanna is one of the ones that are chosen to be right behind the TV screen. Well, actually, let's start with Deanna and Greg. So, they finally consummate their marriage. Greg gets his birthday sex, but then again, the swirling rumors about like, yo, are y'all pregnant? She becomes sick right after, and it's like she calls it the bubble gut, so it's like, okay, and yes, could she have just gotten a random stomach virus, whatever, just could she have? Yep, she could have. But and I also don't really know of too many people that will have such an instant bodily response within the day of. I mean, we're talking like the next day, the day later, you know. But you know, hey, I guess it's possible. So because she's sick for those couple days, Greg is back to complaining about ain't getting no sex because he's just like, she's been sick for the last couple days, so we haven't been able to do it since then. You know, and it's like, oh gosh, Greg. And the fact is, Greg, if y'all pregnant, I feel real sorry for you. I really do. Once give birth, I mean, it's like, you gonna have to wait, bruh. You gonna have to wait. And then this is also Deanna. You know, this ain't somebody who's been like, yes, let's get it on. You know, like Amber. This ain't Amber. This is Deanna. So please, that girl, she will wait those 6 weeks. And then some. I can see her. Where you going? Where you going? I believe in Greg and Deanna. After this episode, 100%. Anyway, so all of the couples this episode had to play a game that was tailored to them by the experts / producers. And it was tailored towards something that they need to particularly work on and work towards and grow, you know, in whatever way. So, of course, they had Greg and Deanna play this kind of card game, which is really cute, where, like, each, like, you know, the diamonds meant something. I think it meant compliments. And then, like, the hearts meant, like, kisses. And then the number of on the card that you draw will represent either how long you have to do the activity for, like kissing, how many seconds, or the number of compliments or whatever you have to give. So, of course, somehow, right, Deanna draws like a diamond of 10 or something. So she has to give compliments to Greg. So it's probably that Greg's love language is words of affirmation. I'm pretty sure. So he, you know, so she gives him compliments and it was like, they were really nice. Some of them were fun, lighthearted. And then others were like really specific to him and things that he's done that she really liked. And then like really sentimental, you know, so she just kind of gave him a gamut. It was really nice. And Greg was just, he was loving his compliments. So like at this point, I was just cheesing from ear to ear. Like I was really excited, really happy for them and really hopeful for them. Now, how their segment comes to an end is, I guess later on, they're having a discussion in bed and then like, I guess Greg is still begging. One of the other reviewers that I watched, Stephanie Lee, she's so good. One of the things that she noted was like, yeah, like Greg doesn't really have any game, right? Which it's okay because it's not like he's totally awkward and like weird or cornball, but he does things that are weird because of the timing and how he says it. And then some of the things that he does are like cornball-ish, but I don't think Greg is a cornball, no. And then also he like, to me, he seems like one of those guys that like would like run up to his woman and talk, like run up to her and like grab her like breasts and be like, boobies. Like, I guess there is a middle school or teenage boy in every man that they just will not let go of. And, you know, I mean, I get, like, you know, like, show it, like, even being silly sometimes, just like, yeah, you know, or like, you know, or whatever. Yeah, okay, I guess that could be fun sometimes. But, like, I feel like Greg does it thinking that this is an okay thing to do to get somebody in the mood. No, Greg. In the comments, let me hear you. Men, do y'all think that that works? Women, here's what's good. Greg is not easily offended. He's not easily offended like Jamie kind of is. Like, you know, I would prefer you to do this or prefer not this or whatever. And like Jamie get a little attitude-y or whatever. Greg is not that. So to me, that's a good thing. Deanna ruins the discussion with her and Greg when he, of course, he does his stupid like, so when we gonna get back to it, whatever, stupid. But then he says, which I wouldn't have thought to ask her this, Greg, but good for you, that he was like, if we were to have sex once every other month, would you be okay with that? And she was like, yeah, so long as it was good and passionate and really like, you know, you give it your all. She's like, yeah, you know. Now, Deanna, unless you were joking, okay? What? What are you talking about? I mean, I understand difference of sex drive, but that's a whole different thing. And Greg is at least good to say like, nope, that would not work for me. So I really don't know what's going to happen between them. Oh, with that, I mean, y'all gonna be okay. Isn't there a song? Is there a song? I'm trying to think. There's a song. Okay. Who sings that? Anyway, Matt and Amber. Let's go to Matt and Amber. Matt was gone for an entire full day. Matt left the apartment around 1 p.m. And Matt was gone until the following morning, to the point where Amber is so sick that she decides to call out of work. I mean, what? So that is not cool. And he just moseys on in. I mean, mind you, like, he obviously came in already, but still, he moseys on in when the cameras are there and literally is like, what's up? And on top of that, gives Amber like the bruh head nod. Like, what? Wait, who? Excuse you? What? And no, that is not okay. His explanation is he didn't know that he was going to watch the game with his friends, but then he ended up watching the game with his friends. Then he went back to the friend's house to chill for a while until they then went out. And then he said that he was like used, you know, just used to like with friends. They just crash at each other's house or whatever. It's like, whoa. What you talking about? Like, first of all, I'm not even saying that you can't have sleepovers or whatever, you know, in marriage. That's cool, whatever. But it's like, during the 8 weeks, Matt? No, absolutely not. This is a concentrated period of time, a limited period of time. All of your focus needs to be on your wife. And like, I just don't get it. Except for the fact that Matt ain't ready. He's just not ready. And the fact that he even gave any of that as an excuse or as a reason. No, I think Matt's one of those people that's like, I'm gonna just do me. I know she gonna say something, but like, he will then make you feel bad for saying something. Get you like borderline gaslight. Like, what's wrong with you? What? How is this wrong? So Amber, you know, she tells him that she's not happy and she wants him to be able to have a life outside of her, obviously. But her thing is like, you have to communicate with me. And she's like, even if you stay out until really late, she's like, I still want you coming home to me. So again, very good direct communication on your part, Amber. Great. But then he's like, all right, yeah, I realize now that me and my 30, 31, 32-year-old self, I realize finally, that having been in 4 exclusive committed relationships, I realize now that finally I have to take someone else's emotional well-being into consideration. It's not just me anymore. That's not even cute. Okay, like, what? Did you just learn something, Matt? No! I got a playlist ready for Matt. I got a playlist ready for him. But like, the other thing that was really disturbing was that Amber just forgave him like that. After he said that, then she went and straddled him and started hugging him and kissing him. And to me, even his hug to her, his facial expression, because we're looking at his face, I ain't see no kind of love. I ain't see no kind of commitment. I ain't see nothing that was just like, yeah, no, they what they got is strong or whatever now. I think Matt was just like, that was it? Word? Oh! Please, he will never grow with a girl like Amber. So Amber describes their conversation as having been perfect and one of the best conversations that they've ever had, and that she now trusts him a lot. Amber, was I watching a different conversation? Because what the heck were your other conversations like? I'm not saying drag him through the mud. That's not even where I'm going. I'm just like, she just did not hold him accountable, which is exactly what Dr. Pepper said when she visited them. Dr. Pepper was like, yo, Matt, first of all, you are lucky that I did not talk to you the night of or the morning after this happened, because she's like, I would have ripped you a new one. You know, so good on you, Dr. Pepper, you know, for keeping it real. And in his interview, he's like, she really talked to me like I was a kid and I didn't like that, but she told me things I needed to hear even though I didn't want to hear it. So yeah, Matt is saying kind of the right things there, but like, nope. Actions, and time will only tell. You know, Amber's over here like, oh, well, I don't want him to get in trouble. Well, I don't, whatever. It's like, wow, Amber, you have learned nothing. 8 months ago, she was in a relationship. So I put together, like, I got a playlist for Matt, okay? If I was you, Amber, this is my playlist, right? Sure. At first we started out real cool. Can you pay my bills? Keep paying my telephone bills. Keep paying my automobiles. Then maybe we could chill. I don't think you do. So you and me are through. I don't think you do. What is this I see? You won't come home to me. I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in the box to the left. Got me twisted. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. So go ahead and get going and see if she's home. Well, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tears. No, I'm not gonna cry, 'cause you're not worth my tears. I done did my dance exercise. Woo. I gotta bust out the church fan. Y'all, woo. What am I gonna do? Matt deserved it. I have to let him know. We have to let him know. We do learn something about Matt, which is disturbing because Dr. Pepper made it seem like she ain't noticed. So again, experts, are y'all asking the questions? Producers, do you know this? Or is this seriously something that you knew and then you just chose him anyway? So when Dr. Pepper asks him about his family and how parents should have been the one teaching you about, you don't just leave someone and like not let them know where you're going. He then shared that he left home when he was 16. We didn't know this. Did he say this in the interview, in the first intro episode? I don't believe so. So he says he left home at 16, bounced around to several high schools, and then ended up at a boarding school. So the whole bounced around to several high schools, I don't know what that means. Does that mean that you left home and that you became a ward of the state because you were not 18 years old? Yeah, what does that mean? My guess, if we just gonna use that, and then all that he's given us, his affect, everything, Matt left home at 16 and has been rather estranged from his family from 16. So while he want to act like the problem started 2-3 years ago with his parents' divorce, nope, clearly not. Clearly things have not been stable and healthy for Matt for years. That is too much. And unless this is somebody that is ready and willing to do the work from jump, which he is not, I do not agree that he should have been picked for the show. Really wrong. They're not going to last. Even if they choose each other on decision day, it's just not going to last because Matt will leave. He will leave. And sadly, I don't think that Amber will get enough, you know, within her to like be the one to walk away. You know, I think it's really just going to come down to Matt being like, you know, that guy that says okay to a relationship or whatever, but then says, I'm not ready, you know, and then just bounces at some point. And he's going to realize that. When the thing is, I said this last week, it is okay that Matt is not ready for a relationship or for a marriage right now. It is okay. Matt needs therapy, but you don't sign up for a show to hope that you will get there. No, because you now have ruined somebody else's life. You know, let's go to Elizabeth and Jamie. Things are just volatile with them. I want to say that I have hope. I really do. Especially because, I mean, I do in some ways like Jamie more every week, even though, you know, he is in some ways as volatile as Elizabeth is, he's just not as flaky and as all over the place as she is. But he's a bit of a baby with his responses. They fight, and then, you know, Dr. Pepper comes. Jamie threw out the divorce, like, I want to get a divorce from you. I mean, Jamie, come on, because you're here talking about, oh, I'm in it, I'm not going anywhere, whatever, and then you get mad at Elizabeth for saying, do you want to be with me? Are you going to leave me? Are you going to whatever? And he's like, that doesn't make me feel good, whatever. And it's like, Jamie, but now you're going to throw away around the divorce word. How do you, I mean, oh my gosh. Dr. Pepper talks to them. She gives them really good advice. You know, she says that this is the one friend that you don't want to hurt. Yes, and that's right. Not that we want to hurt friends, but it's almost like, you know what? If there's going to be anybody that's going to have top priority about like, let me be extra careful with my communication. Not walking on eggshells, but dealing with this person delicately, dealing with this person with true care, handling them fragile, not because they are fragile, but because the relationship in itself, we want to protect it. We want to keep it as good and as healthy as possible because things are going to happen anyway, you know? And so I think that was a really good way to think about it. And when you put it like that, it's like, you know, and then it turns it back to yourself and then your actions. How do then I express myself to this person? You know what I realized? I should have said this in the intro. My first thoughts, communication, woo, is it an art? What we communicate, how we communicate, when we communicate, whoa. I mean, those things, first of all, and then on top of that, people don't even, the first step even in all that is to even be self-aware that there is even something to communicate, you know? And then I guess maybe reading and absorbing others' communication to us, absorbing it properly and making sure that we don't think that it's something wrong, that it's not, or whatever. You know, wow, this is I'm suddenly like really interested in the study of communication as it relates to relationships and stuff. So what I find really interesting is suddenly Jamie decides, which I could almost see where she's coming from. She decides she wants to take a break on sex. Now, listen, homegirl is not talking about let's go to every other month like Deanna is okay with. No, especially because I think that Elizabeth, she already described herself as being a very sexual person. So to me, for her to even get to the point where she's just like, okay, let's put the pumps on, let's pump the brakes on sex must mean something. So she said that her Jamie, this is after they meet with Dr. Pepper, they're walking the dogs. She springs this on him, which to me, again, I mean, when are you going to do it? Of course. I mean, at least she didn't do it in front of the cameras. Then she says he starts to like drag her dogs, you know, like, and you like, y'all know what that is, right? Somebody gets obsessed with them, they just take it out on something, right? You know, and she's like, oh, no. Take the anger out on me. Don't you hurt my puppies, my babies, you know, my fur babies. And I'm with you 100%, Elizabeth. Then she decides to leave for the night. She starts packing her bags. Jamie's first response is not, all right, look, let's sit, let's talk, let's be mature, let's whatever. No, he does a defensive thing. He's just like, okay, all right. Are you going home or are you going, it's just for a night or whatever, you know? And she's like, just for the night, but, you know, then this is him trying to get to a sorry, trying to get to a resolve. And he's like, well, you know, Dr. Pepper said, do not do this. Don't leave. You have a couch. You have a second bedroom. Do not leave the apartment because when you do, it's a punishment of the other person. And then it also means that you're not willing to work on the relationship. It means that you're willing to put the relationship in jeopardy in this way. And that is not fair, you know, and it does not show that you are committed. So he starts reminding Elizabeth of this, which is good. But the thing is, he communicates it in a way or with a tone that is like, hey, just to let you know, I mean, still do you know, I could care either way. You know, it's not really heartfelt, which again, it's hard to come down from that. It's hard because it makes you more vulnerable. You got to come off of your pedestal of like, I'm right, you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. I mean, there's so many things to work on here. Anyway, somehow, eventually, she decides to stay. But here's what I will give Elizabeth. Yo, women, y'all need to take a lesson from Elizabeth, at least with this. She's just like, okay. But Elizabeth does let it know what she needs and what she wants. And she's like, you stay out here. I'm going to have the bedroom. And don't bother me for the rest of the night. Boom. And closes the door. And what I love about that picture, too, is her dogs, her kids are just, cuddling with Jamie. Like, that's like the irony about the whole thing. And it's not like she's like, come here, babies, come comfort mama. No, she leaves them out there and they're just like sitting with, they're just like, we love daddy, Anyway, so, and then that's what happens. He stays on the couch, whatever. Then she wakes up in the morning saying again, she's going to leave for the day because she just needs some time to herself and whatnot. And he, somehow, blah, blah, blah. They talk and blah, 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 blah. She's like, I think I was getting a yeast infection. No, a UTI, because of all the sex or whatever. Again, I don't know. I mean, whatever, it's worth it. But even if she wasn't, her main thing, I think, still was, she felt like it was like, okay, like, do you just want me for sex? Do you just want me for sex? I guess. And the fact is, Elizabeth did make a point last episode where she was like, you don't even romance me. I believe it. So anyway, but then she just ends up staying, and then they're cuddling and like kissing or whatever. So who knows if they even kept to the whole let's take a break on sex thing, which again, I think it's not so much about that Elizabeth was like, not even just so much about the physical, like my body needs a break, but that she said, okay, wait, in order for this to be as meaningful as I need it to be, we need to make sure that we are not just sleeping together for just the sake of sleeping together, So I think that was a good, at least something good that they were hopefully maybe about to work on. I don't know. I don't know about Elizabeth and Jamie. Oh, Iris and Keith. The MAFS award has to go to Keith. I mean, who else was going to get it, though? I would have given it to Deanna until she came with the whole every other month sex thing. I don't like the game that Keith and Iris were given. Because now that I realized that the game, because at first I had to go back and rewatch it because I was like, wait, was the game tailored to each person? Yes, it was. So they have to ask each other all these games to help them to be more intimate, right? That's fine. But then one of the questions comes up, what's your favorite sexual position? Keith starts to laugh, and then he's like, oh my gosh, whoa. And then of course, Iris is like, Now Iris could have handled this a couple of ways. Again, down to communication. Even if it was like, you know what? I'm going to be really honest. I'm not really comfortable with that conversation. Even by her communicating that, could have started another conversation. Okay, why is that? Can you at least tell me why? Or what is it that makes you uncomfortable? Is it the talk of sex? Or is it the talk of sex that would be for him, Keith, past sex or whatever? Like, what is it? And then even if she were to say, you know what, I really don't know yet. I can't really clue into it or whatever. And then the conversation could have been like, okay, this is something, Iris, I hope you got a therapist, boo. This is something that you need to talk to a therapist about because you need to be able to know why something upsets you. It's not enough to know that something upsets you, but then not do anything about it, because how are you going to do anything about it without knowing what it is and why? Again, so... but again, to me, look, this is, I'm outside. I'm outside. They're in the fishbowl. I'm outside. So, I never think well on my feet. So I feel y'all, I don't blame you for not being able to come up with these thoughts and be able to have handled the situation better than you did. I feel like this is where the experts should have tailored the game a little bit with a little bit more finesse and just compassion. I think that producers were wrong for that, because here's why I think that Iris, if I have to have a theory of why I think Iris was really uncomfortable with that question, even before Keith answered. And here's the thing, I was yelling at Keith. I said, Keith, do not answer that question. Don't answer, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer. Don't answer, Keith! Keith, don't answer the question! Don't do it! And he answered. Did y'all watch? I'm not even gonna say it because I'm trying to keep, I already talk about enough grown up topics and words and whatnot on this channel, but I'm not, so if y'all watch the show, you know what how Keith gave an answer. He gave an answer. And basically the only answer that any man would give. I mean, come on. I mean, was anybody surprised? No. Right? But anyway, I'm just like, in order for Keith to give that answer, he has to think back to past sexual experiences. Iris already is upset, and she's already not able to deal well with knowing that you had an empty condom box, which doesn't make any sense. Of course, we know that don't make any sense, Iris, because he's not a virgin like you, nor is he somebody who has ever expressed that he wanted to wait until marriage like you. So, but she already, like, was up in arms about that. Keith, you didn't think that she was going to go bonkers about you saying what your favorite position was and that she was not going to deal with that very well? Clearly not. I should have did I note this at first? Do we realize that everybody, every couple is having issues with sex right now? Every couple. So while everybody was thinking that Iris was going to be the one with issues around sex and it was going to ruin a potential relationship for her, it was going to ruin her marriage or whatever, because she's a virgin, whatever. It's like, you realize that there's, I mean, it's there's such a range of sexual experience among this group, and everybody's having issues. And it may seem like Amber and Matt are not having any issues, but to me, with sex, but to me they are. I mean, I think because Amber's just giving it away. I mean, she's just giving it away. And y'all stop lying if there is nothing to work for and earn. And I know that those are like, what how can we describe those words? It's like, what are you, what is it, what? I don't gotta earn nothing. I don't gotta work for nothing. Really? Here's also what is concerning is that to Keith now doesn't like that Iris, her facial expressions are, she's cringing. She's literally cringing at everything. And Keith is just not, now he's like, okay, this is turned off. He said he feels like a child. He feels like he is in middle school now. And, you know, yeah, that broke my heart when I heard him say that, because it's like, I don't want him to go off of Iris. I don't want him to start seeing Iris in a way that he hasn't seen her before, which I'm like, before I think he's seen her as a woman, as an adult who does not have sexual experience. But now that he's, because of her cringing and her awkwardness, now he's starting to see her as a child. And that might very well be very hard to come back for. And I do think one of the questions that could have been tailored to Iris is, you know, to both of them, is how do you imagine our first time together? Both of them can answer the question now. Because honestly, what did the producers think that she was going to answer with what's your favorite sexual position? What? What did they think she was going to answer? What do you imagine your favorite sexual position to be? I mean, I don't know. I don't think that was fair. That's why I said I don't think, whatever. And then the next question was, how do you want me to initiate sex? Which I probably think was an okay thing, but she had already been turned off. And that's when Iris started to get a little bit weird to me. Oh my gosh, she just needs help. And so again, they got to break it down. Break it down to smaller steps. Those questions are too big. What is it that is uncomfortable for you? One of the things that you guys could do is dance. That could have been one of the suggestions, or maybe it was. You know, y'all have no problem kind of being lovey-dovey, touchy-feely, whatever. Y'all just need to do more of that. Now, there needs to be talking as well. Don't get me wrong. But, like, do that and maybe talk, you know? Like, and hopefully that will slowly but surely open Iris up, you know? But I think that they need to get back to some dancing. Go back to the wedding, right? Y'all remember when they was at the wedding, right? Oh, my gosh. You've been scared of love and what it did to you. You don't have to run. I know what you've been through. Sing it to her, Keith. We'll touch and it set you free. We don't have to rush when you're alone with me. Keith, this is your song for Iris. Otherwise, I'm coming to you, Keith. What? Anyway, y'all, so that's basically it. There was lots that went down in this episode. Let me tell you what. These I mean, I will say this. It's still the best season of Married at First Sight. It is. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm loving everybody that's commenting. Yes, I love it. Let me know your theories. Let me know who you think is right, who is wrong, who you would have given the MAFS award to. Okay. And also thank you for everyone who's been liking and then also sharing and all that. And you know, a few of you that's been like, hey, I'm waiting for your review. And like, that makes you feel so special. And yeah, anyway, because this is how I do it, to talk to you guys. Anyway, so yeah, let me know what you think, y'all. Like, subscribe, share with everyone. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye. They call me, feel the